everybody, welcome back. It's Katie here, art director from Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester, and I am here with another art project for you all. So we are now in the month of April, which typically is a really rainy month, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the saying before, April showers bring May flowers. And we have to keep that in mind the next few weeks because it's going to be really, really rainy out and we are stuck at home. But if we keep telling ourselves that every day, April showers bring May flowers, it'll help us get through until there's sunshine and flowers at the end of the tunnel. So if you really think about the statement, April showers bring May flowers, and you kind of bring it out of the context, it actually is almost a metaphor that there's better things to come. So rainy days aren't the best of days, and sometimes when it's stormy out, we just are in bad moods and we can't seem to get out of a funk, but we have to remind ourselves that it's not gonna rain forever, that tomorrow's gonna be a sunshiny day, there might be a rainbow, and you just have to look forward to the better things, the better weather days to come, right? So we have to think about that the same way when bad things happen. So right now, we're all stuck at home and we can't see our friends and we can't go to school, we can't see our teachers, we can't do some of the things that we love to do, but we have to remember that April showers bring May flowers. So staying home right now is gonna bring better things to come in the next few months, and once we get through this, there'll be sunshine and rainbows on the other side. So today we're gonna do an art project featuring April showers bring May flowers. So one side of my paper is going to be a stormy, really moody, dark colors, and then on the other side of my paper, you're gonna see it slowly turn into a brighter day with sunshine, rainbows, and flowers, all right? So this is an example of the artwork that I created to represent April showers bringing May flowers. You guys can use your own imagination to create whatever kind of artwork that you feel best represents this saying. As I always say, mine is just an example. I would love to see all the creativity and you guys to go in your own direction and create really unique pieces of art. So for this project, I used the materials below. I used crayons. I used my watercolor paints. I used a Sharpie, and I used a piece of paper. So go ahead and grab those materials. Don't forget to cover the surface that you're working on. We don't want to make a mess on the table or the countertop. And once you have all your materials, we'll be ready to get started on our art. For this project, we're going to use the watercolor resist technique that we've used previously. So if you haven't tuned into any of the other videos that I put out the past couple weeks, or if you've never done this technique with me in the art room at the club, what happens is you color part of your picture with crayons and then you paint over it with watercolor paint. And because the crayons are wax and the watercolor paint is water-based and water and wax don't mix, you're going to have a really cool effect where your crayon shows through the watercolor that you painted over it. All right, so once you have all your materials together, it's time to get started. So if you have a pencil, you can start with your pencil sketching out your design. That way, if you make a mistake or there's something you don't like, you can erase it and start over. So I'm just gonna take my paper here, and I'm gonna start by drawing a horizon line. So a horizon line is the line where the sky meets the land or the ocean if you're drawing a beach scene. So I like to just draw my horizon line horizontally across my paper about a thumb's length long, okay? So you see I have a lot more space up top in my sky than I do in my grass. Once you have your horizon line, you can start drawing other details. So I'm gonna go in on the right side of my paper and I'm just gonna very lightly sketch out the shape of a rainbow. You don't have to do it too detailed. You don't have to press down hard because you're gonna go back over this and color it later. So right now you're just doing it to kind of get the layout on your page. That way you know where you're going with your project. So after I do my rainbow, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some clouds on the left side. So you can add cloud shapes into the sky on the left side of your paper. And then I'm going to go and add a character holding an umbrella. So I'm going to draw a girl holding an umbrella. And to draw an umbrella, you're just going to draw an arch shape. So I drew mine a little bit slanted. Can you see that? And then to close my umbrella, I'm just going to start from one end and I'm going to draw smaller arches all the way across, just like that. So once you have the top of your umbrella, you can start drawing your character. So I'm just going to draw a girl holding my umbrella. So I'm going to start with her head right underneath and give her some hair. And then I'm going to draw her wearing a dress. Feel free to get creative during this part and draw her wearing whatever you would like, or draw whatever character you like. When I draw her arm, I'm drawing it coming out from her dress and then back in across her body. So if you look at that broken down by shape, it's a sideways triangle with a smaller sideways triangle inside of it. That's because she's going to be holding her umbrella, which means we need to draw the handle of the umbrella. So it comes down from the center of your umbrella, goes across her body, where you can then draw her hand holding it. I'm then going to draw her holding a bouquet of flowers in her other hand, because that further represents April showers bringing May flowers. So I'm just drawing some circles with swirls inside and a couple of flowers, a couple of leaves coming off of it. Make sure you give her some legs, and I'm gonna go ahead and have her wearing rain boots because it is raining in our picture. I also want her to be standing in a puddle, so you can draw a puddle around her feet like that. And then I'm going to go in on my other side and I'm going to draw some flowers. So underneath my rainbow, I'm going to draw a variety of different types of flowers. There's a lot of different ways that you can draw flowers. You can draw just petal shapes all the way around, adding a stem and some leaves. You can start with a small circle for the center of your flower and then go around it and add smaller circles for your petals. That'll give you a different kind of flower. You can do tulips, which are a U shape, closed off by a few triangles. You can draw roses, which I like to start with a circle with a swirl inside, followed by a U underneath, and then a curved line. So get creative and draw all different types of flowers. Fill in as much space as you'd like. And then I'm actually going to go back to my girl and add her facial features. So just give her a little eyebrow, her eyes, a nose, and her mouth. There we go. So now that I have all my basic details sketched out, I'm going to go in with my crayons and start coloring. So you can start with whatever colors you like, with whatever part of your picture you like. I'm going to start with my umbrella. So I'm just going to color that in yellow. You guys can color in your picture with whatever colors you'd like. And again, if you don't have all these materials at home, that's okay. Use whatever materials you have access to right now. You guys are very creative, and I have faith that you'll be able to create something amazing with what you have. So you can also layer your colors. So where I did yellow for my umbrella, I then went back and added some orange lines and an orange outline to make my shape look more three-dimensional. And because I don't want to bore you with coloring in everything on my paper right now, I already did a few of my details. So if you look at my clouds, I did white on top, followed by gray in the middle and dark blue underneath. And the reason that I layered those colors in that way is because it's going to make them look more three-dimensional after I paint. You can also add raindrops coming out of your clouds. It's hard to see because I used white, but you can use your white crayon to draw raindrops in the background coming out of your clouds. And then once we paint over this, we'll also be able to see those because we're doing our watercolor resist technique, meaning that when we paint over all of this wax crayon, the watercolors are not gonna stick to anywhere we colored in crayon. So I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and get started. So once you're done coloring everything on your paper, then we're gonna go in with our watercolors. I'm not gonna color everything because I want you guys to be able to get to your art making. But to demonstrate, I'm gonna go ahead and take my paints and start painting some of my details. So for my background on my rainy side, I'm gonna use a really dark blue because dark blue is kind of like a moody color that you see when the sky is stormy. So I'm gonna take my paintbrush, take that dark blue, and I'm gonna completely paint over everything on the left side of my paper. Anywhere where there is no crayon will turn dark blue. Anywhere that there is crayon, you will see the color stay. Go ahead and paint your background right over everything. And as you guys can see, my raindrops are now appearing. My clouds look three-dimensional. So you guys can finish painting your background on that side. And then I went in with a lighter blue for the other side of my sky. And where those two blues meet in the middle, I kind of took a little bit more water and I blended them together. So it's almost as like it's a seamless ombre. The sky goes from light to dark, how a sunset would go from pink to blue to purple, right? There's no harsh line where the dark blue ends and the light blue begins. So if you just take a little bit of water on your brush and rub those two colors together where they meet, they'll blend seamlessly. The last thing I want to show you guys is how I do my grass. So I take a light green and I just do a V shape with a few more lines coming out of it. And I do that all around my flowers. And I'm using light green because I'm going to use dark green paint. So I want to use a color that's going to contrast. So once I have my little V-shaped grasses with light green, I'm going to paint over that with dark green watercolor. And as you'll see, the crayon resists so that you can see the light green peeking through. You guys see that? So once you finish, you can go ahead in with a Sharpie or a black marker and just add a little bit of outlining for definition. So I went back on my original with my Sharpie and I outlined a few of my things. I outlined my umbrella, my raindrops, my clouds, my girl, my flowers, my sunshine, and then I added the quote, "April showers bring May flowers." You could also use different quotes about the rain or the flowers or the sunshine. Another great quote that I love that would apply awesome to this project is "Ignore the rain and look for the rainbow." So that's another great one. So once you guys are finished, make sure that you send us a picture of your artwork because we love to see what you guys are creating. We want to be able to share it with everybody else at the Boys and Girls Club. And then make sure you tune in to the rest of our programming. All of the directors are doing an amazing job creating awesome online activities and projects for you guys to do. And I hope to see you guys all really, really, really soon. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later. Bye.